Let's be real, every founder is looking for that secret weapon, that one unfair advantage that lets you see what's coming next. It's called market intelligence. But for most of us, for most growing businesses, it feels completely out of reach, locked away for the giants. Well, today, we're going to blow that idea wide open. Yeah, $50,000. That's the number that just stops most companies dead in their tracks. It's what it can cost per year to get those premium research reports from big names like Gartner or Forrester. It's a huge wall that basically screams, if you can't pay, you can't play. But is that really true? And look, the stakes for just ignoring all this, they are incredibly high. As Harvard Business Review puts it, ignoring market signals isn't just some small misstep, it's one of the fastest ways to fail. This isn't some optional extra, it's about survival. So this brings us to a really critical problem we're calling the high-stakes intelligence gap. It's that dangerous blind spot where most startups and small businesses are forced to operate, all because they feel totally priced out of the game. And let's just put a number on that risk, shall we? A staggering 64%. That's the percentage of companies that neglect market intelligence and then fail within just 3 years. Think about that. It's not about missing some cool new trend. It's literally like trying to navigate a minefield with a blindfold on. So you're left with this real dilemma, right? This feeling of being locked out. You know you need these insights. You need them to compete, to make smarter calls, to grow faster. But the door to that traditional intelligence club feels like it's been slammed shut. But hang on a second. Let's just challenge that whole idea for a minute. Even if you did have that $50K lying around, is the old guard's playbook, those super expensive, slow-moving reports, is that even the right tool for a fast-moving company like yours? And this really gets to the heart of the mismatch. See, the old way was built for a different era. It's expensive, it's slow, it's generic. But your reality, the new way, it demands the exact opposite. You need things to be affordable, agile, and totally focused on your specific problems. So why do these old-school reports so often miss the mark for a modern business? Well, for starters, they're designed for giant multinational corporations, not for you. They can be slow, sometimes taking months to produce, which means they might be outdated the second they're published. And their scope is usually so broad that they completely miss the niche, specific insights you actually need to win. Okay, so enough about the problem. Let's talk about the solution. It's time to build your new intelligence toolkit. We're going to assemble a powerful, affordable stack that gives you a real, tangible edge. First up, specialized platforms. Think of these as your foundation. You've got CB Insights to track VC money and track trends. You've got Crunchbase to do deep dives on what your competitors are up to. There's Statista for amazing industry and consumer data, and PitchBook for insights on private equity deals. Each one is a powerhouse, and they cost a tiny fraction of the old way. Next, and you're going to love this one, don't forget about what's free. I'm talking world-class firms like McKinsey and BCG. They regularly publish incredible industry analyses for free. And you have government bodies like the OECD, Eurostat, and the US Census Bureau offering up tons of robust, reliable data you can access right now for zero cost. And finally, let's get our hands dirty with some practical techniques. This is where you get scrappy and smart. Systematically benchmark your key competitors. Get razor sharp on defining your ideal customer profile. And yeah, even run your own mystery shopper tests. These things deliver ground truth insights that no expensive report ever could. Now, this isn't just theory, right? This stuff works in the real world. So let's look at how a couple of real companies put this exact agile toolkit to work and got some incredible results. So first, let's talk about a company called Avo. They had some huge ambitions for global expansion. So their big challenge was breaking into these really complex new markets in Europe and Latin America. And their solution? Well, instead of buying some generic 1,000-page report, they used agile competitor benchmarking and market mapping to find the real opportunities on the ground. And the result was just a perfect example of precision over power. This targeted, affordable approach directly fueled their expansion, and they saw significant global growth because of it. All right, or let's look at another one, Deploy. Their challenge was a little different. It was internal. They needed to fix a struggling sales process. Yeah, their sales were lagging. The pricing just felt off. So they dove into their agile toolkit.
They used a mix of focused research and internal analytics to completely rethink and rebuild their go-to-market strategy from the ground up.
And the outcome? It was immediate, and it was dramatic. A huge surge in new business and a much, much more efficient sales funnel. They proved it wasn't about spending more, it was about getting smarter with the data they could actually get their hands on.
You see? These examples, they really drive home the core idea here. The new competitive landscape is all about the agile advantage. It's no longer about outspending your rivals, it's about outsmarting them. And when you actually put the two approaches side by side, the difference is just night and day. Cost plummets from tens of thousands a year to maybe a manageable monthly fee or even zero. Speed goes from waiting months for a report to getting insights in real time. And the focus shifts from being generic and limited to localized and highly specific to exactly what you need.
This is what that agile advantage really gives you. We're talking faster decisions, sharper benchmarking against your actual competitors, and ultimately a real sustainable competitive edge.
You know, when it all comes down to it, this is about a core belief. High-quality market intelligence is not a luxury. It's a necessity, and it absolutely should be within reach for any company that has the ambition to grow. So I'll just leave you with this one question, a question that kind of changes the whole game. What if your greatest competitive advantage isn't your budget, but your agility? That's the power that you can unlock.